I never think content should be like a stressful thing. It's
Okay.
just not that serious, but
All
it's
right.
valuable. And
Right.
if you're sitting in your car and you're having a moment and you're thinking about all you've accomplished in 3 years after something happened, and you happen to record it, and it's a good solid 60 seconds, and you're like, wow, that's deep. Why not? You ain't hurting nobody. I'm assuming
Right.
it's not like throwing anybody under the bus. It's
Right.
your
Right.
experience. Why not? You know, throw a popular song in the background behind it, put the captions on it, and just kind of see what happens. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Shades of Content. I'm your host, Patrice Camo, and I am a mom, wife, all the things. If you've listened to this show, you've already heard it. It's episode 88. I can't believe we're 2 away from 9-0. And then 10 away from 100, which, as I told you guys on a couple episodes back, the 100th episode releases on my 39th birthday, December 9th. And this is not something I planned. When I did my planning for the show at the beginning of 2022, I have a big 365-day calendar, and I marked the episode numbers for every Friday. I included 2 break weeks as well as some replays, and no lie, the 100th episode fell on my birthday, which is a Friday this year. Shout out to being aligned. So this is episode 88, and this is going to be a brainstorming session. So you've heard some of these in the past. Every now and then, well, not every now and then, but I really do enjoy helping people create content. I don't know if I want to be an influencer for that. I don't know if I want to take it that far because I realize I don't have time and I probably don't care that much to be in the spotlight. Anywho, I still provide consulting services, coaching services via these one-on-one, 1 hour, sometimes they go to like an hour and 15 minutes, Zoom sessions, and we just talk and I give you all the ideas. You fill out a really quick questionnaire, literally 3 questions, and then we get on our call. I break down all the different ideas I have for you in your content. I can also talk about podcasts, pretty much anything that I've done and essentially succeeded at. I offer quick coaching calls to help others do the same because I don't believe in keeping all the insight for myself, but I also can't spend all my time helping you without you investing so that I can then do all the things that I need to do to keep being great and you being great too. So anyway, thanks for coming back to the Shades of Content episode. If you are a mother and an entrepreneur, then this show is for you. This show, while we talk lots of content marketing, we also, something I'm very passionate about is helping listeners find their source of contentment. Because as mompreneurs, spouses, mom of multiple kids, you have these passion projects. We like to work out. We like to be sane. We do all the things. You're going to have ups and downs. And if you're not able to find those places of peaceful happiness through the roller coaster of life, then you're in the right place, because I try to weave a lot of that into these content marketing focused episodes. So I'm not going to leave a review, or I'm not going to read a review this week, but I would love for you to continue to leave reviews. This show also has a YouTube channel, and this episode you can view a snippet of it in the YouTube. Just click the bio or click the link in the show notes. You guys, it's 9:22. I worked all day and I'm a little tired. But what do we always say on this show? We like to keep it consistent, so we getting it done. Shout out to Aileen, who is my podcast virtual assistant, your pod bud, and she keeps me on my toes, because if it was not for her texts and emails like, hey girl, where's the episode, I would forget to do it. So shout out to the team. But yeah, if you are a mompreneur, I like to call you content mompreneurs or content mompreneurs, you're in the right place. If this is your first time, I'm happy you're here. You really, from this episode, will get to hear and see how kind of my mind works and how I share what I know with other people. So tune in if you yourself are interested in sitting down with me via Zoom to have a very tailored one-on-one conversation about your content marketing needs, goals, ideas. The link for that is also in the show notes. I would love to talk to you. It's definitely worth the investment. The last person that I had a session with, not this one, the one back in August 2021, her name is Azah. She has opened her event venue. So for me to be the person who was really kind of helping her think through that entire process. And I'll link to that one in the show notes as well, so you can hear and put it in context. To then see her literally exactly 12 months later, setting up for her grand opening is mind blowing. And it is the reason why I share what I know via the platform and via, like I said, these business content marketing brainstorm sessions. So listen to the episode, leave a review, please rate the show. I would love a 5-star, but keep it a buck with me. Check out our YouTube channel. You can link to that in the show notes as well. There's some vlogs there. I hope you enjoy the episode. Again, if you want to talk with me and essentially pick my brain, well, tap the link in the show notes. I will see you and be talking to you next week. Happy Friday. Turn up and catch you next week. Bye. Hey you, welcome to Shades of Content, a show that teaches entrepreneurs how to effectively use content to market their business and stay content while doing it. I'm your host, Patrice, a wife, a mom of 3, and a 15-year public relations and marketing professional who decided to open a brick and mortar content studio 4 years ago. And I honestly haven't looked back since. Join me as I share my experiences and the experiences of other entrepreneurs who, like me, are navigating this maze of owning a business, running a family, and trying to stay sane and healthy while doing it. I'll tell you, it's an amazingly challenging journey, but I honestly wouldn't have it any other way. See you soon. Hey there. Are you a content mompreneur, or better yet, are you a content mompreneur? What does that mean? That means you're a mom who owns a business and is on a journey to seek contentment in your professional and personal life. If that fits you, because that is definitely me, then you need to get your content mompreneur checklist. Tap the link in the show notes to see exactly where you are in your journey of contentment. It's something that I am just really starting to hone in on and focus on, because the bottom line is we have to be able to find that level of peaceful satisfaction, peaceful happiness through all of our life changes. And I'm on a journey to find that for myself, and I actually want to help you find it too. So tap the link in the show notes to take your content mompreneur checklist, and then shoot me an email or a DM to let me know where you stand in all of that. Here's the rest of the episode. So you'll get a copy of this. So don't stress out over like writing stuff down. And I'm also taking notes too, which I'll send you.
Okay.
So one of the first things I heard was, how are you creating content without having the clients? The clients will come, but you have everything. So right. You actually don't need clients to stage shoots, to do pro bono, not pro bono, that's not the right word, to do like rental sponsorships. Maybe there's a very well-known event planner that wants to do a brand shoot, because these event planners do this stuff all the time. They stage shoots, and you can provide the stuff for them in exchange for them listing your website. But then also you can, it looks like I'm looking at your last post right now, the background with this is cute. This looks like it's at an actual event with the champagne wall, the last Epic Events post.
Yeah, so that was my best friend. I gave her a surprise party. So I was like, okay, let me get some content.
Absolutely.
And I had a reason to have a party.
Absolutely. So I know that these reasons to have a party can get expensive, right? Yes. So I don't think it's inviting people over. I think it's just setting up little setups and shooting, right? And maybe you're just doing it once a month, and ensuring that you're getting, maybe you're inviting 2 or 3 people over, so you can have actually people looking like they're using the stuff. You are literally staging these shoots. When we first opened, so I own a content studio, it was a co-work space. When we first opened, we did not have any co-work members. Okay.
Right.
So, but I needed to have photos and imagery and video to show people what it felt like to work there. So we staged probably 3 photo shoots. One of them, because we wanted to have a diverse market, one of them had a white woman in it and a Black woman in it. And they were sitting in all the different places looking like they were working. They like brought changes of clothes, drinking coffee. And that, I think we did like a 1-hour photo shoot. Real easy. Okay. But it gave me 20 to 30 pictures, all different types that I could use for social media, that I could use for the website, that I could use for postcards that we ended up giving out to people in the area. I had a creator. This was, again, before we were launched. I said, okay, I'm not going to charge you. Come into the space and do your photo shoot there and allow me to use the photos too. So I didn't make money off the booking. It was a 2-hour booking. I didn't make money off of it. But at that time, it was more important for me to actually have the content so that people can see what it is that we do. So and I think you need to, even as the clients start coming, you should be staging shoots, I would say once a month. Okay. Right? You got the holidays coming up and you have holiday parties. People, like when we do holiday dinners, we are literally renting Chiavari chairs. Like we go to furniture rental and we put it right in our house. So because everybody wants things to look like they want everything to look nice now. They need you. People need you. And so I really want you to start brainstorming what content can I create myself to make people, to engage my audience, essentially, to engage my audience. And that's like, so we're going into we're in September. So maybe at the end of September, now I'm just trying to be realistic with timing, because you do have a life, and to turn around a week, photo shoot in a week is a lot.
I have a Halloween wedding that I'm working on. Okay. So that could be my one for October. And then I guess I will have to work on November and December. Yeah. I mean, those can be Thanksgiving and, Christmas.
And I think what's going to be valuable, you're going to bring value when you tell people what they need. So you're going to get your event planners. You're going to get your weddings. That's a given, right? Once you start once you continue and really start to be back in those spaces, not as an event planner, but as an event service provider, right? Like you're a vendor. You're not a planner anymore. You're a vendor that people need. Right. But I want you to start also thinking about your everyday people who want to have events and they want it to look nice, but maybe they don't have a whole event planner. Maybe they just need some nice chairs and a nice setup to have a brunch with their family, right?
Yeah. And so actually the other night I just created 3 packages, and I can show you kind of what I did. Because that was another thing too. I'm like, okay, I need to create something where it's tangible, where people can just be like, okay, I want that. Yep. And I don't need anything else from you.
Exactly. Make it easy and show them what it is. So that package, even before me seeing it, your content should be illustrating what those packages are, right? So let's say somebody's preparing for their Thanksgiving dinner, right? I would love to see you show me exactly what an Epic Events Thanksgiving dinner looks like. So it's a reel of the table setting. It's a reel of the chairs being put at the table. right? It's every part of what this Thanksgiving dinner looks like. And you're showing the viewer, this is how your Thanksgiving needs to look. Contact us so we can make it happen for you. Right?
Okay. Yeah.
And then you're repeating it for the holidays. You're repeating it for Hanukkah. You're doing it for Kwanzaa. Like your job is to make people feel like they need your rentals, because you're showing them, number one, what it looks like and how it can elevate. You're gonna, maybe that's the content idea. Your everyday celebration, an epic celebration. And I think that honestly, I feel like that is, because epic is it. Like if it's epic, it's it. There's nothing better than that. And so your experiences and your content, I think, should take people from basic to epic.
Right. Okay.
Basic to epic. I'm gonna write that down real quick. Because that's your brand, right? Epic events, right? So we want to go from basic to epic. And maybe that's a tagline. I don't know. Now that we're on tagline, slow me down if I'm moving too fast.
No. Okay. I'm with you.
Okay,
I'm with you. Look, you know what, Patricia? I listen to you all day. I'm go back and listen to your podcast. I'm like, oh, I'm listening to March 5th about 10 times. That's my favorite one.
Remind me, girl, I be forget.
That's the one where you had the lady who she did Twitter, and you told her to write her prayers on her.
Takia. Yes, Takia.
Yes. Uh-huh.
And
to
I
don't think
I need to be texting her, because I don't think she's doing it, but it's okay. It's okay.
But no, it's motivation. That social proof one, man. That was fire.
Yeah, that was
that was fire.
Yeah.
They gave some gems on
they
that
really
one.
did. They're literally like, I'm in the throes of everything they told me to do. I'm like in the middle of it now, and it's like, oh Lord Jesus. But it's a blessing to be able to have conversations with people that can give you ideas, because we can't think about everything.
Right. And I was like, man, I need to go ahead and just set up this session with Patrice, because I feel like I'm just at a standstill. Like I can't think of anything else. But
okay, so since we're talking about tagline,
okay,
your grandma's furniture that we make dope. When I see that, I think it's a vintage company.
Right.
So if I would suggest rethinking that. Not to say that you can't have vintage pieces, but when we think about, like, when I look at your logo, I see elegance, class, like I see epic. That's what I see when I look at the branding. Even the color, the stamp, that does not match what your tagline is. And so maybe it's basic to epic. I don't know. I think you do. I think you should think through that a little more. But we want, I would say, you want your customer to feel like you can help them, or by working with you, their whatever it is will just literally be the next level, the highest level, not even the next level, the highest level. Because you have quality products, you provide quality service, you have high-end furniture, right? Like, this isn't plastic chairs, folding chairs. This isn't that. Like, this is the top of the line. And those things have to be articulated in every part of it, right? Like, people have to understand the quality of what it is. And that, here's some content ideas, right? Like, are you familiar with the Spice Suite?
You said Spice Suite?
Spice Suite, yeah. So it's a spice store, boutique spice store based in the DC area. And Angel, every Friday she goes live. If not her, somebody in the community goes live, and she just walks around the store and highlights the spices, the new spices. So you could, and now we're getting into your personal brand here. you could, spend, and it doesn't even have to be like a live. It could literally be all about Shibari chairs. And it's a pan of the chair, and it's, these are 100% resin. They are lightweight. They elevate and you could literally just give the FAQ or whatever, or the top facts of this product that you guys have, or glass chargers. Like your job, one of the jobs is to make people see what you have and feel like, oh my God, I need this at my dinner. I need this at my wedding. I need this at my baby shower. The event planners need to say, oh, we need to work with them, but also like making them understand why the quality is so great and why it's better to go this route than to, again, like be trying to rent folding chairs or trying to borrow folding chairs from your church, and why these products elevate the entire experience. So now I want to go to your personal brand. So one of the things, the first thing I noticed was that your personal page is private.
You know what? I thought about that. When you sent me the request, I was like, oh man, my page is private. I do need to undo that.
Take it all private. Really?
It was a long time ago. So that's why I put it. But I could take it off now because I think I'm
private. And here's what I always say to people, especially like business owners. At this point, you're your business. You know what I'm saying? And in saying that, what you do represent the business, but also like, because you're representing the business, you actually don't even have to put a lot of the real personal stuff in there. Like what you share on your page, like typically, I try anything I put on my page, I try to always connect it back to my podcast or being content or content, which connects to my brick and mortar. But I'm not really talking about the brick and mortar that much on my page anymore, because Shades of Content is really like where I want to focus the attention, because that the space can kind of do its own thing. Right. So there should always be some type of full circle with anything you post. And it could be you on vacation, but while you're on vacation, you maybe had to sit down with the event planner at the resort, or maybe you just happen to see a dope install at a resort, and it literally can be you sitting in the chair, and it's like in Cabo having some rest time, had a chance to walk around the property and notice this amazing chair. And then this gives you an opportunity to get engagement, because you can say, Houston event planners, would you love to see something like this at your client's wedding? So then they're going to comment, they're going to save the post. They're going to probably come back like, girl, did you get the plug on them chairs? Like, you're now, because I want you to look at yourself as the epic event provider, epic event sourcer. That's not the right word. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're the plug for getting your company, and you are the plug for getting these high-end materials for these events, whether they're large or, again, the family's Thanksgiving. And I know I keep harping on these family gatherings, because I think there's an opportunity there. Like, I think obviously, I'm sure you want the business to grow, and we
call those micro events.
And people spending a lot of money on these micro events. Yeah, they spend,
because you get more elegance with it.
Exactly. It's intimate. You can really craft it to what you want. And people, I believe, are going to go above and beyond, because it's like everybody there is who they know. It's something really special typically. and again, I'm kind of thinking back to like my daughter's second birthday party. We had in our backyard, but we had to rent a huge tent, tables, and we didn't go with the big furniture people because it just didn't make sense. We went with someone like you in our area. So I think there's a big opportunity to really corner that micro event market.
Okay.
And use those events, create the content around that.
Okay.
But back to your personal brand. So we're gonna take your page off private.
Yes.
And I think so. I did a quick search. CEO Elise is available.
Okay.
I personally think you should change your name as well.
Okay. But I was like, oh, she probably gonna tell me to change my name.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's always just been Bossy Chicks. But...
Yeah. And you can still, it can be a hashtag bossy chick. I think Epic should be everything. I looked for Epic Elise, but that was taken. But I like CEO because you're into real estate, you're CEO of your family, you're CEO of the business. So I just like CEO, and I think that's if people search CEO, you'll likely come up first. Like you'll come up higher.
Higher. Okay.
So that is available, CEO Elise. If I were you, I would just go ahead and lean into it. Okay. And then also we want people to know our names, right?
True. Like, yeah. I had changed some things to Elise Renee.
Okay.
That's my first and middle name.
Gotcha. Just keep it the first name, because it's not generic. It's giving the people the whole name. That's a lot, right? Just you're CEO. Yeah. And I feel like that's your email. Isn't that your email?
I don't know how they got on my email like that.
CEO,
but
yes, that's
it was
CEO.
It was a mistake. It was a mistake.
It was a beautiful mistake, right?
A beautiful mistake.
There you go. So I would love to see that.
Okay.
Hold on, I have some. Let me just look at these other notes that I have. And then when we talk about personal content, so you're already doing. I see like there was you did the reel when you showed your audience the land. You did that, right? You did a collaboration post. Like collaboration posts are great ways to kill two birds with one stone. So while you're on vacation or while you're sourcing or going to furniture stores and looking at different types of content, just post it on both pages. Okay. Because why not, right? If it's right. Typically when I'm doing content for the podcast, not all the time, but I do a lot of collab posts because let's just have more people see it. That also just gets more people to see it. It helps you with your engagement. Hold on, put my notes up. Okay, so then I put tell your personal story. I hear divorce, I read divorce, single motherhood, navigating life. I think you can do that in a very professional, mature, empowering way. I don't think you have to tell all your business, but I think you can use the experiences that the events that you've experienced to just show how you got to where you are. Right. I think about someone like, what is her name? I can't remember her name. It's gonna come to me when I don't need it. But she makes a lot of money from selling digital products online. She was just on the Social Proof podcast. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna tell you. But I feel like every other reel.
What's her name? The tall, skinny lady. I know her name.
She was divorced with 4 kids.
Yeah, actually, I met her.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I met her from. I don't know if you follow Jaleel White.
The Urkel?
No. Oh. His name is I am Jaleel, not Jaleel White. It's I am Jaleel, but Brian Waldorf. He does like event spaces. They had a mastermind that I went to in California. And I met her there. She's real cool, actually.
Oh, I love
but
that.
Yeah, she does.
And I'm not saying you got to do it that. Yeah, she's grown that thing like crazy. And I respect it. I'm not saying that you have to say it all the time, but it's like, this is what you've experienced. And experiences bring on different people who might not even connect with you because of the business that you're selling, but because of your story. Okay. And when you think about your personal page, you're going to have people on there that might not care about epic events, but they just respect or they just connect with you being a boy mom or being a single mom or navigating that process. So when we talk about our personal pages, that is where we get into having content pillars or like the 3 or 4 things that you want to make sure, the 3 or 4 buckets that your content can fit into. So for me, my buckets are family, the podcast, mompreneurship, and experiences, right? So if it ain't my kids and just all of us and my husband and whatever we got going on, it's shades of content, literally something from the podcast, or it's how am I owning this business and keeping it, just the ups and downs of that, or me eating, drinking, living my best life. It has to fall into that. And they all connect because when I'm having great experiences, I'm content. I'm a better mom. I'm a better business owner. I'm a better wife. But when I'm creating content like the podcast, I'm learning from other people and just being me and just talking and having great conversations and typically sharing things that is helping somebody else. But none of that exists without my family. My family's number one. So it's you being you and weaving in every part of your life is natural because that's just you. That's you. And I think sometimes when we're entrepreneurs and we have businesses, we feel like we can't like just be ourselves because we like have to be like, I'm professional, but the business wouldn't exist if you weren't you.
Yeah.
And in this world that we live in, people want to see who you are.
I guess like for like my divorce, right? My divorce, I've been divorced since 2019. So I'm like, how can I bring that into play? Like I still deal with it emotionally, but I'm like, how can I make content out of that? Now lately I've been having listening to things and then I'm like, I have a thought and I do a video. But I'd be like, man, this is so deep. Like,
you have to be comfortable.
Okay.
You have to be comfortable with whatever you put out there. At the end of the day, it can always be taken down. But if you and your gut really are like, I'm not sure about this, and it's fine, right? This isn't, I say this all the time, we are not curing cancer. Okay. So you have to be comfortable and you have to be in a space where you say, you know what, this makes sense. I'm going to tell it. So that's that. I think one thing that I do, even if I don't put it out there, I have a note on my phone, the iPhone notes. And I just have a running note that says content ideas. And I literally just, anytime something comes to me, I just type it in my phone. Whatever ideas I have for it, I jot it down. If I have time, then I'll go back and execute. Or in the season where I don't know what needs to be posted, but something needs to be posted to kind of stay relevant, then I can just go back to that. So don't, I never think content should be like a stressful thing. It's just not that serious, but it's valuable. And if you're sitting in your car and you're having a moment and you're thinking about all you've accomplished in 3 years after something happened, and you happen to record it, and it's a good solid 60 seconds, and you're like, wow, that's deep. Why not? You ain't hurting nobody. I'm assuming
Right.
it's not like throwing anybody under the bus. It's
Right.
your
Right.
experience. Why not? Throw a popular song in the background behind it, put the captions on it, and just kind of see what happens.
Okay.
Again, if it all connects, and this is you, and I believe everything we experience brings us to where we are right now.
Right.
So if it makes sense, and it's like, okay, this is what Elise went through to become CEO Elise. And this is what I'm still going to go through, right? Because we're constantly evolving and constantly growing and learning and going through ups and downs. Then I don't see why not. And it also might be good to have like a content bestie, maybe someone who, who you can kind of
I was
just
thinking that
say,
like somebody I could just run it by, like, hey, what you think about this?
Exactly. Like, girl,
Yeah.
what you think? Does this make
But
sense?
it's so hard because a lot of my friends, they not really into it like I am. I'm gonna have to I gotta figure out who that person would be.
Yeah, grow your network, because I know content is hitting in Houston.
Yeah.
So, you have to step out and start to engage with people, hashtag Houston content creator, and just kind of see who you connect with.
Right.
And I would even don't ever be afraid nothing in the world is new. So when I see content, when I see things that I really think is cool, I bookmark it, I save it, and then I create like albums. So I have an album in my Instagram that says Vacation Content Inspo. Like, I save all the things that I think that I like. And then at some point I might replicate it. So there's this, I forget her name, it's Debbie something, but it was a picture of her, and she used like a Canva to put words around the picture that described her. And I just thought that was the coolest. I thought it was so cool. And I did that, and I did it, and then I then put at the bottom of the caption, I was like, shout out to her for this content inspiration. And her version of it was the carousel picture.
Okay.
Right. So not only did I copied her idea, I made it my own, but then I gave her
credit.
Her
credit.
Yeah. And so that's just, I'd say win-win for everybody.
Right.
And it's okay to do that. Like, if you see, I don't think you always have to credit people. Like, if you see an event planner or another company that just has a really cool way of showing their products, do it. Do it. Like, why not? Right. Literally do it. But if it's like what I did, I literally copied her entire thing, just used my own words and my own picture. Then, in that instance, I would 100% credit it. But for you, I think is like just taking pages from the event planners, from the event rental industry, looking at the type of content that is engaging the most, and literally doing it. Don't reinvent the wheel.
Okay.
It should be natural to you. It should make sense. It should be comfortable. And maybe just as you're looking at ideas, you're taking note of it, right? So when you do have your photo shoot days, your content days, you're just showing your photographer or your videographer, this is what I want. Let's make it happen.
Okay.
So you're taking all the guesswork out of it. I'm trying to find that picture that I ripped off her. Like, I can never find stuff when you need it.
Right. That's how it be.
I'm gonna find it and I'm gonna send it to you. So just remember, it's not brain surgery. We're not curing cancer. We are using a free tool to market our business.
Right.
We're using a free tool to market our business. And there's so many creators in the world today that are doing this. Need ideas, go to them. You know, whenever I am totally not knowing what to do, I'll just find a dope quote, or I'll pull one of my tweets and I'll put my picture behind it. And that's the post. Okay. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's something that I tweeted maybe 7 years ago, but it resonated. So I just
used it
and found a picture that was in my favorites. I always favorite good pictures.
Of like pictures of you or your
whatever.
Okay.
Of you, of your business. Whenever you have taken a picture that you like, immediately heart it. You have an iPhone. I'm assuming you have an iPhone.
I have both, but my main phone is my Android.
Okay. I think they have favorite in there. I think they have some.
Yeah, on our gallery.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Because what happens often is you'll need photos, you'll need videos,
and then I have to go back and scroll.
It's a setup, and then you can never find it. That's just what happens.
Right.
So as soon as you're taking great pictures, or even when you just have some downtime where you're literally just chilling on your phone, go through pictures and just start hearting the ones that, this is a great picture, because you'd be surprised how much amazing content is in your phone already.
Right.
Just because we're always taking pictures. Yeah. We're always getting stuff.
Right. You know, you're right, because I'm always going out to eat and doing videos or something.
Exactly. So just try to be super cognizant, so that when it is time to find it, it's already in your favorites, and you'll be able to access it much quicker. Quicker. Hold on, I have more notes. I was taking a bunch of notes when we So what would you say your content pillars are? So as a reminder, mine are family, podcast, mompreneurship, great experiences. What would you say yours were?
Definitely my event rentals. I love doing staycations or some type of vacation.
Okay.
Yes, I would say vacations. Far as my son, he don't really do pictures well. Okay. If I do get anything with him, it's with him working with me.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So I guess son working with me for events.
Okay. What about fashion?
Yeah, fashion. Yeah,
definitely. Because you said that was your first love.
Right. And my fashion.
And this gives you your personal page gives you the opportunity to lean into that. You know what I'm saying? You can have fun, as you're going to an event for setup. Maybe, and I don't know what you wear when you set up. I would assume you're probably in very comfortable clothes, right? But let's just say maybe you put a whole look together and you're literally walking into the venue, and someone is videotaping you walking into the venue.
Right.
That's the content. So you've shown in that 30 seconds of you walking into the venue with your purse, your notebook, and maybe one other thing, right? To just kind of show that you're about to make something happen. You've shown you're fashionable. You've shown you about to get to work.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to add a trending song or a voiceover. And it's literally me walking into building the business of my dreams. Right. Everyday things that you do. It's content.
Right.
and I know it sounds so, it makes it sound so simple, like, oh, everything is content.
Yeah, no, I know it does, but it doesn't, because I know, like, when I'm setting up events, sometimes I forget to video.
So
I'll be like on 10 and I'm like, oh my God, I didn't get any content.
Yep. Here's
So
what
I have to
yeah.
figure that out.
You gotta this could be how old is your son?
13.
13. Okay. I mean, this could be good for him. I don't know what his schedule is, or maybe it's really just a simple event assistant or intern. Or maybe it's you getting a tripod.
Mm-hmm.
For real. Getting a tripod. This is what I do. Get a tripod, set up the other phone, and record it on time lapse. Like when you're
Okay.
when you're creating your run of show or your list of things to do for your client event,
Mm-hmm.
you have to, content is now part of that.
Right.
And at the very least, I want you to start filming and make sure you don't forget to set that tripod up and just record it. Let it do its thing, because it's going to get you walking back and forth. It's going to get you setting up, but it's going to be sped up. Or you can just record it regularly, however, and then edit it on the back end. But the visual of this venue going from blank space, from basic to epic, is like, oh, dang, that's what she did. Oh, she made that look good.
Right.
You know, and you can literally do that. That never gets old. That never gets old. And then the main picture is the final product, a professional photo.
Right.
But the actual content, the reel is just you setting up. So you didn't have to do anything. You ain't have to do nothing extra. It's just like you said, remembering, but also getting it from that viewpoint, so that your audience can honestly really get a view of exactly what it is that you create.
That I create, right.
Yeah. One other thing, as you're working with customers, one thing that I do with Camp is we provide a 10% coupon off their next booking when they send us the high resolution pictures. So I'll kind of, once a month, I'll just thumb through Instagram. I'll click on a location to see who has tagged the space. And if the content is great, we'll just DM them or email them. We love your content. We would like to feature you. You don't want to, don't position it as, can we use your stuff? Position it as epic event rentals would love to feature you on the page. If you're okay with that, please email us the content, and we will then give you a 10% off coupon off your next booking. Or maybe you give them a little $5 Starbucks gift card. I don't know.
Right.
But do something to entice people to create the content for you. So obviously you're going to have to create some of the things yourself. Mm-hmm. But if you begin to, even like in your client, maybe if there's a client questionnaire, maybe there's a checkbox or something that tells them, after the event, we will reach out to you. Or when people book camp, they get an email within 24 hours on also. And some people do it, most don't. But it says, please reply to this email with some of your pictures attached, and we'll send you. So try to like include that in your messaging right away, because then you'll start getting people just literally emailing you great high-res photos.
Right.
That you can use. It's a no-brainer.
Okay. That
takes the work off of you. I want to make sure I hit on these notes. So we talked about the link for on the Epic event page is linking to your photo booth and not your website.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right.
So that's the big one, because people do be clicking on that link in bio. So I just want to make sure you're taking them to the right page. Okay, we talked about your name. content ideas. Now I'm just kind of reading. Tell people exactly what items they can rent from you. Oh, okay. Yeah. So I'm looking at the last post of the backyard, right?
Mm-hmm.
In that caption, and you can go back and edit this, I would literally list out all the things that that were here.
Oh,
right?
Okay.
So it's a 6-foot champagne wall. Literally list it out, maybe put a pink heart or some cute emoji. And just, it's like, right now it just says, check out this backyard details.
But no details.
Yeah, but it's no details. Right. List out everything all the materials that you provided, list that out, because that is showing people what you have in your warehouse.
Okay.
Right?
Right.
All right, now, y'all, don't forget to connect with Shades of Content on Instagram at Shades of Content, and with me, Patrice Camo, at Patrice Camo. And also be sure to rate this show, leave a review, and subscribe, because that's actually the only way that we're going to grow. I'll see you next week.